Hi guys, Jay Smith here. Welcome to the AskGolfNut channel. It's time for the STG Fairway woods. I have the 3 and the 5 in my hands. These are 15 degrees and 18 degrees, but any information that you'll see going forward, I have rammed these up as high as they will go. Because these have the same loft adapter as the previous models, these can move quite a bit. So I've got within 2 degrees or so. I'll stick the thing up on the screen there so you can see just how adjustable these are when it comes to face angles and of course loft. But I have this up at high, which is basically 15 to 17, maybe 17 and a quarter, but yeah. And then the 5 woods at 18 degrees standard up again to 20, just so I can keep like for like, because I do the same thing when it comes to my 3 wood. So technology within this head, you can see straight away what glaringly obvious thing is the sole plate. And that sole plate is a massive 88 grams worth of stainless steel, whacked low and far forward to try and make it as low spin as possible. Is up against that Cortex chamber, that normal blue when it comes to the X drivers, same as the G driver, it's all blacked out, it's gone all grey, and so it's just for continuity. And yeah, and again, I got used to the blue, and I quite like the blue, but doesn't really matter, still there. And of course that's got weight in it as well. We have got a titanium construction, waffled crown, trying to reduce weight, and we also have a SAT 2041 beta titanium face, and of course that will be variable face thickness and springy, that kind of idea. Right, let's go get it on a hole to see how these low spin heads get on. Again, I don't generally gravitate towards these because generally they are slightly a bit more sensitive in strike than their more stable brothers in the Z and the X. But we'll go get it on a hole and see how these feel and perform. Simulator is now on. We are at Crosswater Golf Club. Hole 18 is a par 4 normally, but I have popped the tee to 260 yards. It's the ladies' tee. So there's a bit of a daft one because we are going to go over plenty of water, and again we are talking about the G, generally speaking the most sensitive of all the range. Now the G's are the low spin, G's are for the person who is a decent ball striker. These will be a bit more sensitive to strike, and so if you don't hit the golf ball very well, bear in mind it's a 3 wood, possibly 3 wood off the deck, one of the hardest shots in golf. If you don't hit your 3 wood very well and you need a bit of help, I wouldn't necessarily go for this one. I'd be looking at the Z or the X to help you out on that. These are smaller heads. Again, if I can get away with it, I'll put all the specifications, the CC on the screen so you can see. These do look distinctly smaller than the Z and the X brothers. Shiny top, let's go give this one a hit. I always worry when it comes to low spin fairway woods. Now I'm just hoping it gets there. That is a cracking shot, and I would take that all day long. Review done. It's a great fairway wood, everyone buy it. What was that? As you can see, slightly toey, face was fractionally open, and so that should not draw, but because we have a sensitive girl, gear effect will play its part, and so of course that drew even with the face open. So you can understand there can be a little bit of variability when it comes to a low spin anything. This is the thing with low spin, as soon as you start taking spin off, you do naturally just make it, physics dictate that you make it less forgiving. Spin is your friend. But great, wonderful shot. And if I hit 3 or 4 more of those, I'm a happy man. I somewhat doubt I will, but a very, very good result. And considering it's a titanium construction, it is not very loud. We have had golf clubs in the past, obviously being titanium, and they make one heck of a noise. But this, again, I suppose you've got to, it's within the family of carbon now, and so trying to control noise is an important thought. Right, let's go give this another little hit. No, that's in the drink. Look at that, see? Welcome to the closed face and toe. There you go, my fault. Now, that wasn't that bad, but you can see, spin 1272. So that's from hero to 0 in not much whatsoever. Okay, if you were going for this green anyway, you know, there's so much risk reward. I wouldn't be going for this green anyway. I wouldn't. There's just too much risk there for not the huge amount of reward. A little bit less trouble, and I would go there. But it doesn't matter, it's YouTube, and yeah, we just do what we want on YouTube. That's a safer play. Better strike. So that's much more, the second one was my fault, and then the golf club being the way that it is exacerbated the mess. Decent shot, you take that one, strike was pretty good, face again was fractionally open, but it's not cutting as much as I would naturally. I mean, it's a good shot. That's going 33 yards in the end, 40 degrees ascent angle. That's slightly heely and a face which is 2 degrees open, and it's only just breached 3,000 RPM. I could really see this golf club under a normal hit. The second shot was just poor. I could see these really quite easily getting into the 2000s as an average, which for a 3-wood, bearing in mind my 3-wood runs 3,500, 3.6 as an average. So this is possibly a good 700, maybe more RPM less, which in a 3-wood is mental. It really is. Feeling is actually quite nice, it is, but it's very sensitive. Safe. I'm not going to do the same thing I did with the second shot. God, I took a big hop. Again, you take that one from 260 odd out, just a fraction, face more open, and then yes, it will start cutting, but it's a decent strike. It is a titanium head, so it does give you a little bit of a ting, but considering it's actually quite quiet for a titanium one. Right, let's do a last one before we flick over to the 5-wood. These are small heads. You get so used to playing with modern day 3-wood heads, and again, you going back in the day, this head is no different to ones back in the day. Oh, I can remember back in the day, even before that, this would be classed as massive. But no, you do get used to modern day big headed 3-woods. Oh no, oh, I got away with it. I could feel the heel strike. There you go. So on heel strikes, it's forgiving, at least. That's decent shots, considering you take that from the strike. You'll see the strike on the screen now. Yeah, 11mm heel, 1mm low, and a little bit cutty, we'll call it. And so it's done exactly what it's meant to do. It's now spinning up at about 3.5. Bear in mind, 3.5 is where my baseline is on a good shot with my 3-wood. So this low spinning 3-wood, you kind of have to hit it like that to get it to the spin profile that I'm currently used to. But no, decent club. It will be interesting to see, forgiveness wise, how forgiving this thing is, because I've got a feeling it's possibly not the greatest. Apart from one, we have 5 shots. One was, we'll just ignore. 4 good ones. Right, let's go over to the 5 and let's go see how that one feels. We will have to change the yeah, because that's not making 260 odd yards carry for sure. Okay, so I've changed data sets now. We're 232 yards out now, which is a fairly decent hit with a 20-degree fairway wood. Now, this is a similar kind of setup that I have my 3 hybrid. So it will be interesting for me personally to see how a 3 hybrid goes up against this 5 wood. But 5 wood now, this head's looking rather small, we'll call it. The only thing I would complain about, and it is the only complaint I've got, because it's got a really quite nice glossy top, it has. Very prone to fingerprints. There you go. But exactly the same looks as the 3-wood, but just a smaller head. And it does look smaller. The 3-wood looks quite small anyway, but yeah. I have this in the Cali 70 stiff, and what was the other one I had, I will say. Exact same shaft, just ½ inch shorter, because obviously we're talking about 5-wood, 3-wood. So for the people that care, there you go. That's what shaft I've got it in anyway. Right, let's go give this one a hit. Drink still down the left-hand side, but it'll be interesting to see how well this one works. Being a 5-wood, there's a safe miss. I am missing that all day long. Right, I am not going left. I've done that once before. That's a good shot. Just off the green, landed on the green, but decent strike, face fractionally open. I'm properly chickening out. We've got what are we, 39 yards in the air and 46 degrees of descent angle. That's stopping on any green within reason if I didn't land it on the right hand side. But you take that, good shot from 232 out. I mean, if you hit the green on this, you're winning. And if you just leave yourself that, and that's so close, that's puttable. It sounds very, very similar to the 3-wood, and I'm not surprised, because it should. It's just the smaller brother too. But it's going nice and high. I'd say 40 yards in the air, but possibly is higher than what my 3 hybrid would do. So it would be interesting for me to think, should I dump my 3 hybrid and go to a 5-wood? You'll have to test that one out a little bit more. Oh no, I've done the exact same thing. I said, oh, is that going to carry? That will carry. Wow. So that's the miss. Wow. 242 yards. Now I caught that fractionally high on the face. Fractionally high, fractionally shut, 1 degree closed but 5 mil high, so you are going to get some vertical gearing. Because this is a smaller head, when you're talking about miss strikes, especially vertically, that you will get more gear effect. Now I will do a video one day on what gear effect really is, for the people that don't know, but effectively it means when you're not hitting the ball in the middle of the golf club, as in not the middle, wherever the effective sweet spot is, because it doesn't have to be geometric middle to be the sweet spot. But as soon as you move away from that, you get a certain amount of gearing on the golf ball. It makes the ball tilt, curve, one way or the other. Now that's if you move horizontally, left and right, heel and toe, but it also works vertically in the other 3-dimensional plane. And so you get more spin, less spin. Less spin. But we got away with it, 242 yards carry. Woohoo! Yeah, I mean that is like driver spin from a 5-wood when you don't quite catch it. That is quite impressive. Oh, I've done it again, but not as bad. It was just me. I'd take that. That's still absolutely fine. Remember, when it comes to this, 230 odd yards out, just me telling it to go left fractionally. 6 mil hill, which is nothing but club path slightly across, face to path, fractionally shut. Everything says go left, when that's the one space you don't want to go. What's the speed? That's the spin now, yeah, 3.3. That's still not spinning as high as what my 3-wood does. And it's a 5-wood, which should spin more. But it's going 36 yards in the air, 43 degrees descent angle. It's doing well. It's just a monster. I've dialed this right up, like 20 degrees. It will not go any more than this. And this is already going fractionally longer than my 3 hybrid. 7-wood? Well, they don't make a 7-wood in the G, so it can't be in the G. But yeah, interesting test, and we'll do that another day. Right, let's go see if we can hit the green. Hit target. Oh, it's curving that way. It's a good shot, you take it, and it's really carrying. Look at that. Wow, it's just right out the back. Good shot. I mean, it's decent strike. Again, just fractionally more toey this time. You can see it's adding a little bit of draw bias. It is a fairly sensitive girl, I will not lie. And so you do have to be hitting your fairway woods fairly close to middle and be quite consistent doing it, because you will start to move around on curvature and flights. But I mean, that's just good. That is just good. And it's doing 37 yards in the air, 42.3 degrees descent angle, spin at 2.9. Right. Wow. I mean, it feels nice. It's a titanium head. It feels nice. It's punchy off the face. Remember, this is a 5-wood at 20 some odd degrees, and efficiency is at 1.4 something sometimes. So it is one heck of a punchy 5-wood. It's just spin level for me. It's not for me, I don't think. Spin level is just a fraction too low, but it is fun to hit. It really is. It's a good little golf club. Just a bit sensitive and a bit low spin. Right, let's go give it a load of hits all around the face, see how well they perform. The 3-wood as well, to see what kind of golfer could use the G fairways. The 3 and the 5, remember, it only comes in the 3 for a left-hander, but at least a left-hander's got the option in the 3. And let's go see how the G fairway gets on. Let's be clear about the STG fairway wood. No different to the driver, really. It's a low spin variant, and you have the other members of the family, the ZZ and the X, for either neutral, more forgiving, and draw and forgiving. This is going to be for a certain particular point of the market that can strike the fairway wood as a general rule very well, and is also looking for a lower spinning option. Now again, we could be talking about not just tour players, we're not just talking about extremely good golfers, we are talking about also let's say a handicap golfer that hits their fairway woods really, really well. They just want something that's going to work off the tee better. When their driver is not quite performing as they want, they want to go to something which is going to give them an extra distance. And a low spin fairway wood will give you that, because it is a lower spin profile. You'll get the same or very, very similar amount of launch that you get in your current 3-wood, but you'll get a lower spin profile, which will mean you'll have more of that rainbow flight, that flight that goes into a, whatever it be, the green or the fairway wood, and chases down there. And so that's why for me, because I set my 3-wood up more to go into a green than I do down a fairway, I'm looking for peak height, I'm looking for descent angle, where these aren't necessarily suited for that. So I've hit the 3-wood and the 5-wood loads and loads of times to gain a proper capture of just how well these work when it comes to like peak heights and descent angles and stuff like that. So we'll start off with the 3-wood. Ball speed on average 147.4 miles an hour, which is mighty impressive for a 3-wood. Launching at 12.3 degrees, spinning at under 3,000, 2,926. That is on average, and remember you do have mishits in there as well, so generally speaking mishits will spin up more than they drop down through vertical gear effect, but under 3,000 RPM. And I am someone who generally spins my 3-woods or fairway woods quite well, so that could quite easily come down. But if you're an individual that spins their fairway wood, their 3-wood up into the 4,000-5,000s, and you hit the middle fairly well, there's an option there. But it's going 32 yards in the air and descending at 39 degrees, so at 242 yards carry on average, 266 total. That thing is going in with a fair amount of forward momentum, shall we say. That is not wanting to stop too much. But again, I would use this G much more from off the tee than I would be thinking about into a green. So club head speed is 103.4 miles an hour, efficiency is 1.43. That's very close to what you'd see average drivers on a camera-based system. Not bad whatsoever. Attack angle's 0.3 down, club path and face to path is very 0-0. Lofts at 19.1 degrees, and 4 mil toe, 2 mil low is the average strike. And I've got stand deviation on everything for everyone who knows about stand deviation to critique. If we go to the 5-wood, it's working much better from the point of being able to go into a green. 145.7 ball speed, which is mighty impressive. But when you have a look at this, you'll probably be able to see already that I have, swing speed wise, I've kept them basically the same. Why I've done that, I wanted to try and see what the differences are in the heads with loft, etc. I was trying to get the speeds very, very similar, if not the same, so I could distinctly tell what the differences in lofts are doing. Now, generally speaking, what you'll normally find is as soon as you have a shaft which is ½ inch shorter in the 5-wood over the 3, then you'll get a natural drop off of speed slightly, and of course that will make the gappings a bit bigger, because it's carrying 231 against 242, so I'm only 11 yards off a 3-wood, but that's because I'm swinging at the same speed. Normally you'd swing it slightly slower because of the shorter shaft, and then that drop would naturally go to something like 15 to 18 yards or so. I would think I would see between these if I was to do the normal speed drop. But it's launching at 14.2, spinning at 3.8, so it's still sub 4,000 for a 5-wood, up at 20 degrees, going 39 yards in the air, descending at basically 46 degrees at 231. So that is stopping on the green at 231. That outperforms my 3 hybrid. Would I go to this one? I still possibly would want to go to a normal neutral 5-wood, because I want even more control than that. I mean, But it's just sometimes it's just a little bit sensitive, shall we say, the G fairway woods because of their low spin characteristics. Club speed 103.6, again 103.4, so I'm within 0.2 of the 3 wood to try and keep that as like for like. Well, efficiency is 1.41, so you're now seeing the distinct difference in what happens with loft. 1.43 against 1.41, and you can see lofts there as a 22.6 rather than 19.1. So more loft means more deflection, less efficiency or smash factor, depending on what launch monitor you're using. So attack angle 0.9 degrees down, and face is just baby open. 2 mil hill, 3 mil low is the average strike. Of course, I've got standard deviation on there for everyone to see. Ball compare screens and the club compare screens, you can see the differences. I'm marginally hitting the 3 wood a fraction more off the toe, but it is very, very small. And then you can see with the dispersion rings, 3 wood naturally gets bigger. Well, it will do, because 1, it's a low spin head anyway, and 2, less loft. And as soon as you take loft off, dispersion gets bigger. That is normal. That is why everyone is more accurate with their pitching wedge than they are their driver. Shaft length and loft win all day long. But it is mighty impressive. You can see the rainbow flight of that 3 wood going in, and that is going to run down that fairway. Right, so I haven't done too much in the way of forgiveness data on this one because I found out very, very quickly, like I did the driver, that she is rather sensitive, the 3 and the 5 wood. Like the driver, the Gs are a bit more sensitive. So I've got a 3 wood here that I've delivered fairly well. Okay, club path is 0.6 across and face is fractionally closed to that. So it should draw a fraction, and it should go left anyway because path is fractionally left, face is fractionally closed. Everything says just go a little bit left. But I would naturally see that one going less than 10 yards left from that delivery. 10 mil toe, 0 mil high, so just toey. And you can see the amount of gear effect, draw gear effect applied to that golf ball. 16.5 degrees left, and it's finished 32 yards left. I mean, it's a good shot, 252 yards of carry at 280. But it's 32 yards left, and that is because of the sensitive nature of the G. So you do need to either understand your delivery and play a certain delivery. Again, if I was using this, I would know that my pattern with the 3 wood is generally slightly toey, and then I would try and leave my face fractionally open all the time. And of course, the 2 would counteract, and you'd get to a point of where you'd hit them fairly well. But you can see what happens just there, no different to what happened on camera. If you get it even fractionally wrong, then one of these Gs will make it look rather silly. It's got potential to be one of the most ridiculously performing 3 woods ever, but it is a little bit sensitive. So I'd only use a G generally if you've got a very good control of strike. Go to the 5 wood, and we've got a similar one here, 9 mil toe, 1 mil low, so very, very close to the same 10 mil gross that the 3 wood was off. Path 0.2 from the inside, face is open by 0.1. It is such a small amount, but you can see the tilt axis applied by the strike, and it is missing 23 yards left. You compare this directly up against the Z or the X, they are much, much more stable in their design. And so you can hit them all around the face, and for everyday golfers and even pros to a certain extent, I would argue that actually the Z, which is already a very, very good 3 wood, 5 wood option, and especially the X if you're struggling for a little bit of a fade, and that's the whole idea of them, they are very, very stable. This G will be for someone who is looking for a low spin in flight. This G will be for someone who's looking for a fairway wood off the tee to try and, when their driver's not working, use their fairway wood to gain that extra distance back that they would otherwise lose. I am personally, for me, I'm concerned about the lack of spin, but again, these are low spin, so that's the whole idea of them. So for me, are they suited? No, but there are other golfers absolutely that would just revel in the attributes that this low spin fairway woods provide. So hope you liked the video. If you did, thumbs up, go on YouTube, like, so do I. Down there is a subscribe button. It's great for the channel if you could do that, so I appreciate it. Thank you. And next to that is a bell icon, that's a notification bell, and that will let you know next time I upload another video. Hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.